Hi. So tonight I decided that maybe the next step for some of you that are interested in IVF is to know what it entails to actually have to take the shots. So as you can see, I have everything laid out for this evening. Tonight is the beginning of my 4th round of this. So needless to say, I feel a little bit like an expert since I've been having to do these shots quite a bit. So this is what it entails for an evening of shots. Start by taking my different vials. I'm going to pop the lids off of each one. I do try to separate these out. All right. This is one drug right here, another drug right there. Okay, then you want to take an alcohol wipe and you want to clean off the top of each of these vials just to make sure that they're sanitary. I go through and wipe each one. I will pre-warn you guys at the end right before I'm ready to actually inject the shot so that if you're squeamish from either watching needles or even blood, because sometimes that does happen, then you can actually turn this video off. So I have cleaned all the shots. These are 2 different sets of drugs. So this is one right here that I'm gonna prepare, and this is another set right here that I'm gonna prepare, okay? So the first one is my gonal F, which means nothing to probably anyone that has not done this before. And here's my saline solution. So this one kind of comes half pre-done. So I will start by injecting the entire saline solution into there. Okay. Put that out. Okay. With everything, I want to put everything into a sharps container so that we don't accidentally stab ourselves with something. So this one, we can't actually shake them, but we do want to mix the powder and the saline solution into each of it. I apologize for this light that keeps shining above my head. So this one, I will stir it up just a little bit by twirling it, okay? Then I take the needle that comes with it. So these shots are subcutaneous. So what that means are these ones do not go into the muscle, these go just into the fat. So what that means is that the needle, if you can see it, well, it looks kind of big in the video, but the needle is actually very tiny. It's tiny compared to a needle like this, which would be more for subcutaneous, or sorry, for intramuscular. So this one would be one going into the muscle. So as you can see, quite a difference in size and length. So that means that these shots thankfully don't hurt very much. I will eventually have to be using needles like that. So we'll get back to that one. All right. So with this one, I make sure and push all the air out of this. Go in, turn it upside down, and I withdraw, let's see, over there are my instructions, 75. So you'll have measurements on here, so I just go down to the 75 mark, turn it upside down, pull it out carefully because I don't want to lose it. The rest of this can be used for the next few nights. So this one, I've got my 75 in there. I now want to make sure that I get all air out. I have accidentally injected with air and it's not fun, it's kind of gross. And then I very carefully, I try to push this out until I get just a little bit, you might be able to see a little bit of a bubble. So that means all the air is out and there's a little bit of a, not bubble, but some of the medicine. So that one's ready to go. So I'm gonna set that down. The next one I think is a little bit more fun. So it's these 3 vials. So there's this fun little thing called a Q-tip, which I've actually, or Q-cap, sorry, Q-cap that I've actually preferred to use when I can get them out. Okay, so this fun, awesome needle, I'm going to actually remove because I don't care to use it. I prefer to use this little cap. So what I do with this is I screw this on. Okay, this is going to help me mix the solution. So I am going to start by putting it into the sodium chloride. And I'm going to withdraw in here 1 cc of this. All right, so I made the mistake before of accidentally doing twice as much fluid, and it did leave me bruised and the shots did hurt. So thankfully I now know I only need to do 1 cc. That makes this a lot easier. So I measured up to there. Pull this one off. This I can throw away now because I'm not going to be using that again. So now I have to do 2 vials of this one called Menopur. So I'm going to start by injecting the solution in. I don't think you can really see it too much. All right, and then this one I just swirl around also to mix it up. Turn it upside down, draw all of it back in. Okay, pull this off. This one is now empty. Going to mix it now with the second one. Okay, swirl that around. Withdraw all of it. Okay, try to get a little bit of air out here. All right, pull this one off. Probably shouldn't be putting those in the container because it will fill up fast. All right, now I remove the Q cap, set that over there, and I'm going to put on a much tinier needle because the last thing I'd ever want to do is stick that large one in. Put the tiny needle on. As you can see, it's tiny just like the first one. Okay, so now once again, I want to get the air out. So I very carefully push it up until I get a little bit of the solution. There you go, okay? And that one's ready. All right, so the shots that I'm going to be giving myself tonight are now ready to go. Okay, so this is the part where I'm going to do the shots, so if this is going to bother you, you might as well turn this off. All right, so I'm going to start by having to, once again, use another alcohol wipe. Clean up the area. I'm going to stand up. Okay, so, pardon my, so I pick an area right next to my belly button and just wipe it off with alcohol. Okay. All right, take the first one. So one thing I learned is you don't always bleed, but if you do, it's just because you're hitting a capillary. It doesn't hurt any different. In fact, sometimes it doesn't hurt at all. Sometimes it does. Depends sometimes on the medication. So first one, just stick it in. That's it with the first one. I don't know if you're able to see that very well. That one thankfully did not bleed. Second one. Okay, put right next to it. This one hurts a little bit more. So this one actually does kind of sting. So I don't know if you can see it. Okay, pull that one out. Did not bleed on either this time. Yay me. But I will still put a little gauze pad just to add a little pressure there. And that is it, folks. Not a big deal. So if you have to go through this eventually, call me up if you want me to actually do the shots for you. Other than that, it's really not a big deal. It doesn't hurt and you get used to it. The anxiety is probably the worst part of it. And thankfully that goes away after you do this 4 times. So thanks everyone, and hope that was informative for any of these that were curious. Bye.